in this moment. I cannot say what's wrong or right.
It's that time once again, y'all.
It's not hard to fool me.
Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Another episode of the Trademark Your Mental Wealth Show, guys. My name is Ken Lawrence, and at this time, guys, if you want to share this video in real time, now's the time to do it. Go ahead and get your watch parties going. Go ahead and tag your friends, tag your business partners. We're going to get this thing started in about 30 seconds. Appreciate you all for joining tonight. Go ahead, drop your city and your state in the comment section so we can see who all we have on the call tonight. It's going to be a good call, guys. There's going to be some information that everybody can benefit from. Go ahead and get those last minute watch parties going.
Cause I know what I'm getting into. Nothing can stop me.
The speaker we got coming in tonight, this guy is filled with information that he's going to share with us tonight, and it's going to be a blessing to a lot of people. You have a lot of people when it comes to finances that are right there on the cusp of doing something great. They just need that little push to get across the end, and tonight we're going to show you guys exactly how to get there. Once again, put your city and state in the comment section. Go ahead and get those watch parties started. Go ahead and get your friends, family members, co-workers, anybody that can benefit from this information. Get them on, get them on. Who we got here tonight? Got my good partner Terrell McDonald in the building. Appreciate you, dude. So we are going to go ahead and get started. A lot of information we want to share, and I definitely don't want to make our speaker wait. So without any further ado, guys, let me go ahead and get this show started tonight. So I've had a lot of people in the last few weeks that have actually joined into the show, a lot of people that I didn't know. So as a common courtesy, let me go ahead and introduce myself, guys. My name is Ken Lawrence, and I have been a business owner now for the last 11 years. I've been self-employed now for the last 4 years. And for the last 3 years, guys, I've made it a vested interest of mine to teach financial education and to help the common person get where they want to go financially. So that's been a mission of mine for the last 3 or 4 years. I've helped myself in a massive way by learning these strategies that we're going to talk about and implementing them into my life so that I too can become financially free. I wasn't born with a golden spoon in my mouth either. So I've had to apply everything I talk to you guys about. So I would never tell you anything that I know for a fact did not work. Everything that I talk to you guys about is tried and tested in my own life. So if I tell you something, you can guarantee that it actually works. So this is actually show number 4 for us. So if you want to, you can go back on the page and watch the past 3 shows and get caught up on what we have going on. Show number 1, we talked about the dangers of payday loans. We had a guest speaker, Melissa Hutchinson, that did an amazing job talking about how payday loans can actually affect you and your finances. In show number 2, we talked about how banks make money and that banks are businesses and their primary goal is not to help us to a certain degree, but to make money for their shareholders. And in show number 3, we had a powerful speaker, Pastor Reginald Jones, and he talked to us about what the Bible says about wealth and generational wealth. And tonight we have another great show. The gentleman I'm going to bring to you tonight, man, I've known this guy for about 3 years. We become very, very close friends and speak on a daily basis. He's actually my financial mentor and my upline in the business that we're in. And he has a wealth of information also. We talk on a daily basis, very, very strong guy. And information he's going to share with you all tonight is going to be something that if you apply it into your finances, apply it into your mindset, you're going to be absolutely shocked at what the results of that are going to be. So let me bring to you our guest speaker for tonight out of Hinesville, Georgia, Mr. Charles Ivory. What's going on, dude?
Hey Ken, how you doing, man? Hey, I want to give it up to you, man. I really appreciate you sharing this knowledge with the people, man. And this is my fourth show that I've watched with you on it, man. And you've been doing an awesome job, man. I thank you for your service.
Hey, man, it's one of those things to where, I always tell people that you got to get out your own way sometimes. And I've wanted to do this for a while. I've had a lot of friends that told me that I should do this, but for some reason or another, I would always find a reason why I was too busy to do it, why I shouldn't do it. And I just don't believe in harboring good news, man. People are quick to tell you what their problems are, but nobody ever wants to share solutions. So the whole purpose for this show is three things, man. We want to talk about mindset, because if you get anything and don't have the right mindset, you won't keep it long. We want to talk about motivation, because see, motivation is the thing that you need to keep what you got. If you get it and you're not motivated to keep it, it won't stay long. And then last but not least, we want to talk about money. Now, I know we talked about that last week. A lot of people are afraid to say that they want to be wealthy. A lot of people are afraid to say that they want to have money. But we know one thing, man. It kind of drives everything. Money itself won't make you happy, but it's. I look at it this way: money is an ingredient to happiness. You take one ingredient out of the recipe not going to taste the same no more. So money is a key component to being happy and being where you want to go. And we talk about that too when it comes to finances, man. Talk about having mental wealth. It's a lot of people right now, they're stressed out mentally because they don't have money. So we can't even come to think about that finances are not a part of being mentally where you need to be and not being stressed out. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're going to talk about. And as well as I do, man, pre-coronavirus, we traveled the country talking to anybody that would listen about finances and about how to get their money go where it needs to be and the importance of having a home-based business. And the one rebuttal that I got more than anything else was that the only way that you could be benefit from a home-based business was to make great income. And no matter how much I would tell people that you don't necessarily have to make a killing in the business just to be successful, a lot of people didn't get it. So tonight I thought would be a great night for us to actually show people that everybody needs a home-based business. Even if you're not good at selling, even if you don't have a large group of people who want to join your team or join your movement, a home-based business can still benefit you. And I know Charles is just the guy to bring this message tonight. So, man, I'm going to sit back as a spectator. I'm going to take some notes. Go ahead and show everybody, man, why every person should have a home-based business. The floor is yours.
All right. Hey, I appreciate that, Ken. Hey, and you're exactly right, man. A lot of people shy away from network marketing because we go out and we educate people and we recruit people into the business so we can grow large teams and stuff like that. But it's not all about growing a large team. It's not all about going out there and recruiting people. We know our largest expense is taxes. We already know that. It takes 1/3 of your income. And if there's a way that you can shift some of that money back to you, then a home-based business is the best way to do it. And for those of you that don't know what income shifting is simply shifting the money back to its original owner, which is you, because you work for it, you deserve it. And so there's other entities out there that's taking your money from you, and we want to show you how to shift that money back to you by doing the things that you're already doing. So you don't have to do anything different. So there are advantages to having a home-based business. One is that there's two types of tax laws. See, there's tax laws for the haves and there's tax laws for the have-nots. So when I normally talk about the haves and the have-nots, people always think I'm talking about rich and poor. But I'm talking about this form that you need to have when you file your taxes. Is called the Schedule C. See, this is your profit and loss statement, and sometimes when you spend money, you can recover some of that money back. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the Schedule C so you can understand the difference between not having a home-based business and the advantages of having one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, and Ken, I'm going to need your help on this because I'm not going to be able to see my screen once I share it. So I'm gonna need your help. So let me see if I can figure this thing out.
I got you on this thing, dude.
All right. I'm not seeing it. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go.
It's a little bit different layout than what we used to, but once you master it, man, it's a much better presentation, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm always willing to learn something new. So you just let me know when it comes up.
Yeah, we're good to go. We can see it.
All right, you can see it. You see Schedule C?
That's it.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys some examples. So let's look at the first example, and I'm gonna try to blow it up a little bit so you guys can really see how these numbers really work. So let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. Ken, is it blowing up any?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right. Okay. Now.
There you go.
All right. So there we go. So basically, when you file your taxes, I'm gonna give you an example of a couple, Joseph and Mary. Right? It's a couple with a child. Okay. So Joseph and Mary have a kid named Billy. Now I know you guys saying Joseph and Mary had a kid named Jesus or Jesus, right?
They Joseph and Mary child name.
Okay, so in this example that I'm gonna give you guys, I'm gonna give you 3 examples, right? But I want everybody to make the same amount of money. Okay, so right now, they make $75,000. Okay, $75,000. So when you go and you're looking at your tax form and stuff like this, as you can see, we got income, and this column here is on the right side, and then you have adjusted gross income is on the left side. All right. So right now they make $75. They don't have any of this stuff here. So you just bring this number down to 75. Now, here's the thing. On this side, they don't have anything else to put here either. They don't have a home-based business, so they can't take any of these deductions right here. Okay, so it doesn't affect them at all. So then we got this itemized sheet. Okay, right now, in order for you to itemize as a couple, you need to itemize over $24,000. And if you don't have over $24,000, they give you what we call standard deduction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so standard deduction takes me to this form right here. So as a couple, we get to deduct on line 40. As you see, it says itemized deductions or your standard deductions. Okay, so since they don't have anything to itemize that's over 24,000, they're going to take the standard deduction of 24,000. Now, this is the money that the government gives you for free to reduce your taxable income. So you earn 75, but the government says that, hey, we're going to let you deduct $24,000 from your gross salary. Okay, the government, you got to love them sometimes. All right, so that's going to reduce their tax liability down to $51,000. So now their taxable income is $51,000. That's all they have. They done, Ken. They can't do nothing else.
Yeah.
Right. So they're going to be paying taxes off of $51,000. Okay. So now let's look at somebody that has a W-2. I mean, not a W-2, a home-based business, excuse me. So let's look at somebody with a home-based business. So we got Joseph and Mary. But now look, and I'm going to show you the importance of this, of why you really want to have a home-based business. Look on line 12, if you may. Okay. It says business income or loss. Attached Schedule C. Remember the haves and have-nots. Those that have a Schedule C, those that don't. Since this couple has a Schedule C, they get to claim their business income or loss. Okay. So as you see, this couple right here lost $15,000. They lost $15,000. But guess what? They get to subtract $15,000 from their income. So instead of 75, that brings it down to 60. Now, because they're smart and they understand how money works, they come down here in this adjusted gross income, and then they deposit $5,000 into what we call a SEP account. Okay, this is a retirement account, a SEP account. So because they deposit $5,000 into a SEP account, what it did was it subtracted $5,000 from the 60. Okay, so now they end up with $55,000 of taxable income for right now. So now let me explain what a SEP account is for those of you that don't know. Now, this sheet came off the IRS.gov website. Okay, so everything that we teach, everything that we do, we document, we show you documentations for it. Okay, so if you go to IRS.gov, you can type in the search SEP account, and you'll see that it's a simplified employee pension. Okay, but here's the good thing about the SEP, and I'll read it to you. It says, contribute as much as 25% of your net earnings, okay, for self-employment. Your net, we're talking about the net now, okay, up to $75,000 for 2020 and $56,000 for 2019. Okay, so you can reduce that. Now, for those of you that have IRAs and stuff like that, there's only a certain amount of money that you can contribute to your IRA. So having a home-based business with a SEP account allows you to be able to contribute more money to your retirement fund. Okay, and that's what it's all about, guys. We want to make sure that we can take care of our current lifestyle, and we do that with labor, but we also want to be able to take care of our future lifestyle, and we do that with investment. So it's important that we put enough money aside and use some of that labor income to push aside for investments. That just makes sense, right, Ken?
It really does.
Okay, so with a SEP account, you can put up to 25% of your earnings. Okay, so now let's look at this famous form called the Schedule C. This is your profit and loss, and I'm going to show you how this thing works, because it's a beautiful thing, and this is why everybody should have a home-based business. Everybody got to have one. And some people say, you can't claim your losses. Well, yes, you can, because the IRS gave you a form that says profit or loss from business. Okay. So check it out. Joseph's work, have a business, right? And he wasn't that good in the business, because he only earned $5,000 out of 12 months. So this is why I say you don't have to, with network marketing, you don't have to be the #1 recruiter and make all this money to make money. Okay. So money is created. All right. And we show people how to create money with a strategy. So listen to the strategy. Okay. So this person wasn't that good with the network marketing. They only made $5,000 out of 12 months. Okay. But look at the deductions that they're allowed to take. Okay. And I'm only going to do common deductions, just common deductions that everybody in America should have. Okay. Everybody has a vehicle that they're driving. Okay. Now, because they had a home-based business, they was able to deduct $8,000 for mileage. Okay. So last year, the government was giving 57.5 cents a mile. So just think about it. If you drove 10,000 miles for business in a calendar year, that's $5,750 that you get to deduct. All right, look, I'm deduct, right? You get to deduct that from your tax liability. Now, look here on line 13. All right, depreciation. So most people have a laptop, a tablet, a cell phone, a computer, a printer, maybe a desk, a chair, a lamp, or whatever. Okay. Section 179 allows you to depreciate business items that you may have. Maybe you just ordered you a nice 75-inch flat screen TV that you want to put on the wall, but because you have in-home meetings, well, that's the nice screen that you use for people to watch. It can be tax deductible. Not only the year that you bought it, but as it depreciates over time, you can continuously deduct those same items. Okay. I love vehicles because when you buy a vehicle and you drive it off the lot, the moment you take it off the lot, it loses value. Okay. What if you could deduct the depreciation as that value, as that vehicle starts to depreciate, you can claim the depreciation of that vehicle. Okay. Now look down here where it says mortgage, others. Now, I don't know what others is. That could be a lot of things, right? But your tax professional can let you know what others is. Now, over here, I got travel. People like to travel. The government says if you conduct business while you're traveling, you can deduct business days. So if you're flying to Texas, I'm down here in Georgia. If I'm flying to Texas, that could be considered a business day. Now, if I'm down there for 2 or 3 weeks, well, the meals that I eat while I'm down there for business can now be tax deductible. Okay, so look down here at B for deducting meals and entertainment. All right, so meals, $1,000. Utilities, if you have a home and you have a home office, well, you get to deduct utilities. Wages, you can deduct wages for your kids. You can hire your kids. Okay. Now, there's many types of deductions, and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen real quick because I want you to see this. And there's a book, 475 different tax deductions.
I was just gonna go grab mine.
475. Now I don't know how many we just went over. I'm gonna go back to the slide in a minute and we can count them, but it's 475. And I'm not saying that you're able to do all 475, but you should get this book and go over the ones that you can do. And I'm gonna read one to you because I think it's very interesting. And it's in alphabetical order, so it makes it real easy to read. And I don't know if you can see that, Ken. You see that, Ken?
Guard dog.
It talks about a guard dog. Now, how many of you have pets? How many of you have a dog, right? And I'm going to read what it says, just a little bit of it. It says the cost of buying a guard dog can be deducted the year of purchase. Now, for those of you that have those pit bulls and Rottweilers and all these German Shepherds, you know, you could deduct it the year that you purchased the dog. And those dogs are pretty expensive. Now get this, or depreciate over 7 years. you could depreciate the dog over 7 years. Okay. It says see business asset, veterinarian fees, and the cost of feeding and maintaining the animal are deductible. Okay. You need to have this in your life. You need to have this in your life. Okay.
Now what's so funny, man, is I'm not a dog hater, but I'm not a dog lover either. But I know there are some people that take better care of their dog than they do their family. So basically what Charles is saying is that the things that he just talked to you guys about are things that you're going to spend money on regardless.
Anyway,
here's my question. This only makes sense to me. If you're going to spend money on these things anyway, wouldn't it be great to have a business that, number one, you could potentially help someone with? Number two, you're going to generate income from. And number three, you can write off things you were going to spend money on, whether you had the business or not.
Absolutely. Now,
we can also show you how using strategy, like what Charles talked about, we can also show you how to use a strategy to where the government will actually pay for the business.
So, Ken, what you're saying is you can have a business for free, self-funded, right?
Well, you can have a business that is self-funded and that pays you basically to live. And the ironic part about it is, I know there are a lot of financial gurus that'll tell you that when it comes to getting financially fit, that you have to cancel your life. You can't spend money on nothing in the eyes of certain financial gurus. But we show you how you can use your current lifestyle with a little bit of discipline and a whole lot of strategy, and the government will actually help you dig your way out of debt.
Dig your way. Now watch this, Ken. Let me bring this slide back up again. I'm getting used to my tools now. All right, let me know if you can see.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, okay, we back. All right. Now, let me show you your two biggest deductions that everybody should take advantage of. It's this one right here on line 26, wages.
Yes.
Because you are able to hire your kids. Now, I want you to think about this. In America, a child cannot have a bank account unless they have a custodian. And that's normally the parents, right, kid?
That's it.
So you don't have to give the kid the debit card, right? So every time you pay your child a salary, that's tax deductible money for you.
Right.
Because that's a business expense because you're paying an employee. So you turn your child into an employee. Now, remember those standard deductions that I was talking about earlier? Where the government will reduce your income by a certain amount? Well, if you're single, that's $12,000.
Right.
I believe this year is like $12,500. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you can pay your child, and the range that we're talking about is between 7 and 17, right? 7 and 17. That's the range. You could pay them up to the standard deduction for a single individual. So that's like $12,500. Now imagine that. Think about how much money you spend on your child. Okay, think about it. Kids want to go shopping in the mall. You give them money. You give them allowances. You got kids in AAU sports. My granddaughter, she did cheerleading. And did you know that the cheerleading camp was over $1,000? My grandson did AAU ball, right? And he did a lot of traveling, and that gets expensive with hotels and food and uniforms and stuff like that. Kids want to be in band. You got to buy instruments, school clothes, and the list goes on. Just think about how much money you spend on your child. Then Christmas come, they want the PlayStation 5. I mean, the list goes on. Kids are expenses. We can agree on that, right? So what do you think about if you just pay your child a salary? Let's say your child is a teenager and you pay your child $1,000 a month, okay, $500 every 2 weeks, and you get to deduct that $12,000, and you let the kid, when school starts, you tell the kid, go buy your school clothes. When they want the PlayStation 5, you say, hey, here's the debit card. Let's go get your PlayStation 5. When they want to do AAU ball, you take the debit card and you take that on the road with you and pay for the hotels, pay for the meals, pay for the uniforms. Okay. You taking that out of the child's account. That's the money you was going to get a child anyway. But now, because you did it this way with a strategy by paying your child a salary, all the money that's in that account now is tax deductible to you. And because the child is under the age of 18, they get to write off the standard deduction. You can wipe that out. They don't pay any taxes, but it's tax deductible to you. That's an amazing tax strategy right there. And if you have a child and you don't have a home-based business, all those expenses that I was just talking about, you just throwing it away.
So basically what that means is, to put it in layman terms, if you make $50,000 a year, and if you hire your child, the amount that you pay your child comes off of your taxable income.
Absolutely.
So let's just say that you pay your child $50,000. You can just for using round numbers, you pay your child $12,000 in a calendar year. Okay. Your taxable income just went from $50,000 down to $38,000. But here's the caveat. You still living off of $50,000 because the money stayed in your household.
That's it, Ken. That's powerful.
Like,
so now
all the time, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep.
That's it. That's it. That's it, Ken. That is about the money you keep. So let's look at this Schedule C closely. If we was to add all of this up, you see on line 28, that's $20,000 in deductions. Mm-hmm. $20,000 in deductions that we were going to spend anyway.
Right.
Anyway money. Now, remember, Ken, I'm not talking about regular business expenses, because, you know, we got advertisement, we got repairs and all kinds of stuff. We're just talking about everyday, ordinary expenses that the average American spend on a daily basis. $20,000. Now, because Joseph made $5,000, we have to subtract the profit from the loss. So that's how you get a negative 15.
Right.
He's at a negative 15. All right. Now, check it out. Let's go to the next page. So now that you see how we got down to $55,000, and let me go up and just in case I lost somebody, I want to show you right here. Okay. On the front. Remember, that's where this negative 15 came from, off of the Schedule C. Okay. Just in case I lost you for a minute. All right. So let's get back on track. Okay. So now look what happens. We reduce our taxable income down to $55,000. But guess what?
There's more.
On line 40, itemized deduction. Hey, we get to take the same deduction that couple number one took, right? They had 24,000. We have 24,000. But they 24,000 was deducted from 75. We brought ours down to 55. So now we just brought our taxable income all the way down to $31,000. Ken, that's a big jump. That's a big jump, Ken. From having a business and not having a business, that's a huge jump.
Yeah. Yeah. And the awesome part about that is twofold. Number one, your expenses were not anything that you went out of the way to purchase. Because if you look at your expenses, none of those really were business expenses. All of those were just lifestyle expenses.
Lifestyle expenses.
So
Absolutely.
now you think about if you have a business and you actually put in legitimate business expenses, guess what happens to that 31,000? It goes down even further. And the further that number goes down, now your taxable income changes also.
You know, Ken, the thing that people need to realize is that we all pay taxes, right?
Right.
But we could decide how much taxes we're going to pay. Now, this is not about tax evasion, right? Because what a lot of people do, Ken, they become afraid of the IRS.
Right.
Because all we heard all our life is don't mess with the IRS. They'll garnish your wages. They'll seize your property. They'll put you in jail. Look what they did to Al Capone. Look what they did to Lauryn Hill, Ron Isley, Wesley Snipes. That's tax evasion. We're talking about tax minimization. We're talking here with the Schedule C, tax protection, right? You know, the government says you must file taxes, not necessarily pay them. You
never said you got to pay taxes.
Yeah, you got to file your taxes and be truthful. Be truthful on your taxes. Okay. All right. So we're gonna show you how.
Think about this too, man. This is something I just thought about. Now, people will see something like this, and the first thing they'll say is that this may not be legal. This may be tax evasion. Now, let me show you how your mindset is and how important it is to surround yourself with good people who know good information. Now, the same people that tell you that this is tax evasion and that this may be illegal have no problem, and y'all don't act like you don't know about it. They have no problem borrowing their auntie or their sister's kids to file taxes.
That's what we do, kid. I knew you was going there.
Now, what we do comes out of a book that is nationally published. The instructions that we take our instructions from IRS enrolled agents. So everything that we do is legal, morally, and ethically correct. But you'll listen to May Sue down there on the end of the street that'll tell you, look, you're going to get a couple grand for the kids. Look, all I need is my cut. And you have no problem with that. Ladies and gentlemen, the IRS is getting very savvy about those types of things. So the borrowing of the kids, they're starting to hone in on that. If they don't have the same last name, instant red flag. Does not mean that it's not legal all the time, but it's an instant red flag. They also have software now to where they can put a social security number in and they can instantly tell, okay, Charles Ivory carried this kid last year. Ken Lawrence carried the kid this year. Charles Ivory and Ken Lawrence are not related. The kid went to school in Georgia, but Ken filed in Louisiana. These things are easy red flags, guys. What we do with these strategies are showing you a legal way of getting a better result. I want y'all to write that part down. We show you a legal way to get a better result. That's all you can ask for.
It's funny you say that, Ken, man, because you know, I talk to guys all the time that cut grass. Every last one of them that I talk to, they're making their money under the table. They don't want Uncle Sam to see their money. They don't want to tax their money. But I'm like, sir, do you realize that you just bought a $75,000 truck that's tax deductible?
Yeah.
And you're pulling a $14 or $2,000 trailer behind it. You got a $6,000 lawnmower and a $300 weed eater that you're not taking depreciation on. You're spending anywhere to $300 a week on fuel. And all these things can be tax deductible. You got your home, you got lights, you got water, you got utilities, internet. But you don't want to let the government know that you're making this little money cutting grass.
Yeah, that's something that we do too, man. And you know, I basically have eliminated the term side hustle from my vocabulary because you have a lot of people, man. Like, you know, I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. We keep it real here. You know, I'm in the t-shirt and uniform industry, so there are a lot of people who have quote unquote t-shirt businesses that they don't get their EIN numbers for, they don't get their LLCs or their sole proprietorships, and when it comes to tracking the expenses, they don't do it. And they actually think that they're getting the better end of the stick by not reporting their income. Guys, let me tell you something. No judgment here, but most people who do things like that really don't make enough money to even hide it. You would do yourself a much better justice by actually claiming the money that you make from your business and then also claiming all of the deductions that you get from the business plus your expenses. Now, your business will come out in the red, but 9 times out of 10, you were not going to use that business to go out to try to buy anything substantial anyway. If you're not going to try to use that business to go out there and buy a piece of property or to buy a brick and mortar location or something like that, or start your business credit, the fact that you are in the red does not hurt you. It actually helps you. So if you start a business, go in the red for the first 1 or 2 years, I think you can go in the red 5 years before they classify as a hobby. You can go in the red the first 1 or 2 years, take a loss on paper, use the return that you're going to get because you're going to make money from the government by going in the red. Now, when that second and third year come, now you have a nest egg that you can use to start growing your empire, guys. This is the benefit of having experts at your disposal. Now, am I calling myself an expert? Absolutely not. What I talk to you about now, I learned 2 ways. Number one, by making the mistakes. I learned by making the mistakes myself. And number 2, by being corrected from a higher source. So now, yes, I have experts on my team that tell me all these things so that I won't make these big errors going forward. It's important, guys. You got to have sound people around you giving you good advice when it comes to your finances.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So to all the lawn care service out there, let me show you again. Joseph Work took a huge loss in his business, but he had these deductions. Okay. So now let's look at it. He gets to take the standard deduction of $24,000, bringing his taxable income down to $31,000. That's a big difference. Now, let's look at somebody that made some money now, okay? Because, you know, Amazon took a loss for 15 years
Yeah.
before they got into the black, you know. But now let's look at it again. Now, so we kind of understand the first page, so I'm going to go a little bit fast. I don't want to waste a lot of time on here. But what I want to identify to you is line 12 again. That's that Schedule C line. Before we had a negative 15,000. Now we have a positive 20,000, a positive, okay? Now we're adding to this 75,000 instead of subtracting.
Mm-hmm.
So now we made 95,000. Now, normally when you make more money, they take more taxes. And this is what I want to share with people that have multiple jobs out there. Because we know a lot of people that's working 2 jobs. Now, Ken, 2 jobs was meant for 2 people.
That's
okay.
it.
And basically, your second job is really only paying the taxes on your first job. And all you're doing is making more money, getting taxed more, and losing more time. And there's 2 types of equity in life, and it's time and money. Now, we can always make money, but we can't make no more time, Ken.
Yeah.
So all you people out there with second jobs, I understand there's a better way. That's all I'm saying. It's just a better way. Okay. So let's continue on. I digress. Okay. So Now he made $20,000, but this person here has some financial experts at his fingertips, and we're saying, hey, invest your profit. Okay, because remember, if you invest the 20,000, you get to deduct another 20,000 from 95.
Mm-hmm.
So now that brings him back down to 75. He's back at the point where couple number one was. Remember, at 75.
Right.
Now, as truth be told, guys, this guy didn't make 20,000. He actually made 40,000. This was the loss he took on his Schedule C.
Mm-hmm.
He took $20,000 loss. He actually made 40,000. So I'm gonna show you. So let's go to the Schedule C. So as you can see, Joseph, part one, he made 40,000.
Mm-hmm.
He made 40,000, but he took the exact same deductions. We didn't change nothing here. We took the exact same deduction. Remember, couple number two, they took a $20,000 loss. So did couple number three. So if you take the 20,000 from the 40,000, that leaves 20,000. Okay, so that's why we had 20,000 on that line, right? So now look what happens. Look what happens. This is amazing. So now 75,000, still taking the same deduction, $24,000. Bring that down to 51. Okay, bring that down to 51. But now here's the thing, Ken. Let's look at the summary of this. Let's recap all three of these, and I kind of highlighted some things that I want people to focus on. So couple number one, no home-based business. The taxable income was 51,000, same as couple number three, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taxable income was 51,000. Now, at 25% tax bracket, that means they will owe the government $12,750. That's what they owe the government.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look at couple number two. Couple number two decided to get a home-based business. Now, remember, couple number two, they shy. They don't like going out talking to people. They don't do a lot of recruiting. So they didn't do very well in the business.
Right.
But they had a business, Ken. That's the thing. They had a business. They owned a business. They were a business owner. They sucked at it, for a matter of words, but wasn't that good. But they had one. But look how it played out in their favor. Okay. So it says the employee made the same amount of income on his job plus an additional $5,000. So that's the $5,000 that he made in business.
Right.
The business provided the employee with a $20,000 additional tax deductions. So he got to deduct $20,000. So being smart, he invested the profit. Okay. Now remember, when you investing, that money growing too. Okay. But that allowed him to take an additional $5,000 in losses. So he ended up deducting $25,000. Now remember, he still get the same $24,000 in standard deduction, but he took an additional $25,000 in deductions. So he brought his taxable income all the way down to $31,000, paying the same amount of taxes, 25%. He owes $7,750. That's different than couple number one.
It's $5,000 different.
That's right. So now check this out. The employee end up with a $5,000 more in hand and $5,000 in his investment account. That's a total increase, cash flow increase of $10,000. Couple number two that wasn't good in business, that shy person that don't want to talk to nobody, but they had a business, end up making $10,000.
And the thing about that's $10,000 today, because you also got to remember that they got that investment there. Now they may have that investment in something that's yielding them anywhere between, let's just say 8 and 21%, because we know we can get 21%, anywhere between 8 and 21%. So it's $10,000 in today money. But once compound interest start grabbing that $5,000 they got in that investment account, that money there's going to grow.
Let's talk
And
about
they're going to grow at a rate of taxation that's different than it would have grew at if they would have kept it.
Let's talk about it. Let's look at it. Let's say they invested it in an account at 8%. Okay, 8%. Now check this out. If the associate repeat the process annually with no improvement, none, and invest half of his new annual cash flow, $5,000, that's $416.67 monthly at 8%, it will grow to $76,000 in 10 years, $245,000 in 20 years, $621,000 in 30 years. Ken, we can retire then.
And that goes against an amazing statistic, because we know that over 8 out of 10 people at retirement have less than $5,000 in their retirement account
by age 65.
Yeah, so we just showed you a way that you can start a business, not be very good at the business, use the profits from the business, compile with the tax savings, and then retire in 30 years with over $500,000.
So all the young people out there, what we saying, you got time, get started. All right. Yeah. For all the old people out there, you ain't got much time, get started, because we can show you how to speed this process up. We can show you how to speed it up, right? We got some other things out there. Ken, maybe that's another show for you. But check this out. You know, I don't want to go too long, over an hour. So let's talk about couple number 3, right? This is the guy that made $40,000 in this business. You know, this is me and you, Ken. We work in this business, right? Okay. So check it out. The employee made the same amount of income on his job, plus an additional $40, made some money in his business. Mm-hmm. The business provided them with a $20,000 tax deduction, just like couple number 2. Mm-hmm. He invested $20,000. Okay. And then let's see, in the tax deductible plan, he got an additional $20,000 in deductions, which made a total of $40,000. Mm-hmm. Okay. A total of $40,000 because he invested 20. The employee taxable income is only $51,000. Taxes owed on that is $12,750. Kind of reminds you of couple number 1, right? Couple number 1, you know, was the same amount. Now look at this. The employee ended up with $20,000 more in hand and $20,000 in his investment account. That's a total of $40,000 tax-free income. Tax-free income. All right. Now, here's the big one. If the associate repeat the process annually with no improvement and invest half of his new annual cash flow, $20,000, that's $1,666.67 monthly. That's a lot of sixes, Ken.
A lot of, well, better 4 than 3 though.
Yeah. Hey, my wife always talk about me because my birthday is 6/6/69, but don't judge me. All right. But anyway. All right. So at 8% annually, it will grow to $305,000. $305,000 in 10 years. $982,000 in 20 years. $2.5 million in 30 years, guys.
Everyday million.
Now, the good book, the Bible, says that God gives us the ability to create wealth. Did they create this wealth?
They made it happen.
They made it happen. They created it, right?
That's it.
Yeah, they created it. Now everything that you know about the Bible come to life. They the head, not the tail. They the lender, not the borrower. Ken, you got to create your wealth.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm getting kind of messed up, Ken, because I'm looking at you on my cell phone, but I should be looking directly in this camera. So I'm going to look directly in this camera. Let me stop sharing because this is messing me up, right? I'm going to stop sharing it. And so I can look you in your eye. Create your wealth.
Yeah.
Create your wealth, guys. Knowledge is power only when it's applied. Now, you don't know what you don't know, but we can all learn and grow. And when you know better, you do better. So now we just showed you a live demonstration on how to do better. So you know now. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. Ken, man, I enjoyed this, man. You know, like I said, I can go on with this for hours, but I know you got your show scheduled for a certain amount of time. So I'm gonna shut up and give it back to you, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. You know, maybe hearing it from somebody else like yourself, man, more of my audience would actually take this information and run with it. Because like I say, that is one of the most common things that I hear is that if I have a business and if I'm not good at it, or if I don't make a lot of money in it, then the business does not benefit me the way that it should. And you just proven that to be absolutely fictitious, guys. So, you know, in closing tonight, guys, I just want to talk to you guys about the importance of community. The importance of community. And I was born and raised in a small town in Mississippi, less than 10,000 people in the whole county. And growing up there, we always talked about how it took the whole village to raise a child. And I think that when we were that way, life was a lot more pleasurable because you knew that if your child was out of your eyesight and he was in the eyesight of somebody else in the village, that the child would get the same information that they would get if they were with you. And the village and the community, the terms kind of go hand in hand. When you are in a community of good people, the information, the thought process, the vision, the journey is all the same. And life becomes a lot more pleasant when you surround yourself with people who are on the same path as you. A lot of people see me and they think that I never have bad days. They think that I wake up every day with that same level of motivation, ready to go out there and conquer the world. But I'm human. I have bad days just like everybody else. But the difference between me and most people is that I have people like Charles Ivory in my community that remind me of what my why was. See, once you realize what your why is, the days that you put in zero effort diminish. No 0 days, the importance of community, and remembering your why, guys. Those are 3 key components to being able to accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a community of people like Charles and myself where we focus on things that we feel that every American needs. Number one, before you can save anybody else, you need to save yourself. A key component to saving yourself is to first acknowledge within yourself. You don't have to say it verbally. You have to acknowledge to yourself that I am not where I want to be. And the only way I'll get there is to do something different. So you have to save yourself first. We bring you into our community and we help you in 4 areas. Area number 1, Charles just told you, your number 1 expense is your taxes. We show you how to legally, morally, and ethically. You're going to hear those 3 words with us a lot. Legally, morally, and ethically lower your taxes. So while you're out there trying to budget your way to wealth, we show you how to get rid of your number 1 expense first. Then what happens? We show you how to use this new money that you got going in, not to go out there and live your best life, but to start doing the second thing that you need in order to be financially successful. That is to get your credit where it needs to be. Cash is king, credit rules the kingdom, guys. You have to have good credit in this world. But we don't give you a template in a book and some worksheets and tell you to figure it out for yourself. We have licensed, trained professionals who are going to help you get your credit where it needs to be. Now, I say help you because they do all the heavy lifting, but they still need your input. Number 3, remember this: you would never be wealthy as long as you owe somebody. So the third thing we teach you how to do, or we do along with you, is to help you get out of debt. Debt, we call debt the generational curse because it's handed down from generation to generation. And it's not all physical debt. It's not all cash debt. A lot of it is mental debt. So now taxes are lowered, money in your pocket. Credit score has raised. The more your credit score goes up, the lower your interest rates are. The lower your interest rates are, the lower your monthly payment is. So now that's additional money back in your household. The bills that you were paying are no longer there. So now you have even more money in your household. So what do you do now that you have all this money? Now we show you how and where to invest it. And unlike most companies, we don't tell you do step 1, do step 2, do step 3, do step 4. All these things are done simultaneously. You don't have to be at a certain point to benefit from what we do. We meet you where you are and we walk you to where you want to go. So as we talked about, guys, no excuses. No excuses. As an adult, our number one charge as an adult is to be an adult. And being an adult means that you make tough decisions, you make sacrifices, but you leave your last name better than you found it. Allow us to show you how to start that process. So if anything we said tonight, guys, resonated with you, get back with me. Get back with Charles Ivory. Let us navigate you to this thing called financial freedom, guys. I'm telling you, man, people want instant gratification, but time goes a lot faster than you think it does. So when we tell you that you can be debt-free in 10 to 15 years and be a cash millionaire in 15 to 20 years, that may sound like a long time. But when you started your job, they told you that you had to work 30 to 40 years before you could retire. And you took that willingly, not knowing what the outcome would be. We guarantee that if you follow the plan that we have for you, the outcome is guaranteed. So with that being said, once again, I want to thank my guest tonight, Mr. Charles Ivory, man. Appreciate you, bro. Charles unmuted himself. Charles must have been all into my dialogue. He unmuted himself.
Hey, I really was, Ken, man. I see you on prime time, man. You finna get your own talk show host, man.
Man, this thing, it feels good, man. It feels good because, like I said, it was something that I was hesitant to do in the beginning. But, you know, the feedback I've been getting from people and the people that we hear from on a daily basis letting us know that the things that we're doing are making an impact in their lives, man, is actually very humbling. So I appreciate having people like you on this journey with me. And, man, we're going to keep on doing this thing. We're going to affect some people. We're going to look back over time and realize the impact that we had on a lot of people's lives, man. And we're going to end a bunch of these generational curses, man. The curse stops with us.
I appreciate you, Ken, man. You know, hey, they gave Steve Harvey a radio show, so they can give Ken Lawrence one too, right?
Hey, man, I'm clear.
Hey, please share this information and get back with the person that shares the video. Because if anybody shared this video,
I think Charles audio is gone again.
oh man, I told you, man, I be trying to, you know, I'm trying to cut out the back noise. But as I was saying was, man, you know, get back with the person that shared this video with you, because chances are if they share this video, they're partnering with us. So, Ken, man, I love you, brother, and keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great thing and you're helping a lot of people.
Appreciate it, man. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and wish everybody a farewell for tonight. Next show will be announced. I'm thinking about doing one on Thursday, but I know for our company we have some big things that are going on Thursday night, so we may have to reschedule Thursday night show. But I'll give you guys the rescheduled date as soon as I can. I'll get the flyer out there so you guys can go ahead and make your plans. But other than that, guys, love you all like play cousins, man. You guys have a great night. We will see you all on the next show. Appreciate you, man. We'll see you soon, bro.